Hi, this is Graham Stoker from the Hybrid Hive team, interviewing Nick Herbert today and finding out more about hybrid IT orchestration.
Thanks, Graham. Yeah, it's a great question. If you Google orchestration, you'll probably get a variety of different answers, and it's quite vague and difficult to pin down. You could probably get answers around technical automation and workflows, or if you Google it, you might get a definition closer to a musical reference. From a Fujitsu perspective, we're providing an answer around the complexities of hybrid IT. The landscape's changed, and there's lots of things that need to be joined together to provide a seamless experience to the business. What we're doing is providing almost that service glue, which answers some of the difficult service delivery questions, which are often overlooked. And I quite like the musical reference, where you have an orchestra with a conductor who brings together the best pieces of that orchestra and brings out the best of the team and the services that we can deliver. So the answer really is in compliance and visibility and control. You can't get those in this complex landscape without orchestrating properly. With certain industries, certainly you need to be sure where your data is. You need to be complying with legislation, with industry standards, or even your own internal corporate standards. Orchestration can help you do that. We can automate policies and make sure you know exactly what's going to happen, so you don't have to worry about mopping things up afterwards. You can set things right from the outset. On top of that, we can bring financial control, and not just control, but financial cost savings. Being able to see what you're spending and where you're spending it allows you to change those corporate policies and set the right financial quotas and restrictions to help you get the best out of what you're trying to do. Well, it's a big deal because many organisations are now taking advantage of the cloud and digital services which are available, and they're expecting to get good returns on their investment, they're expecting efficiency gains and improvements across the piece. But in many examples, that's not quite happening. They're increasing their costs in some examples, and they're getting a much more varied IT landscape that they're struggling to manage. Orchestration is key to answer that problem. It's the simplifier of that complex IT landscape. It's the aggregation point where we bring together all these different suppliers, different services, and present a business value and translate that complex landscape to present the business with things which are useful and can add value on a day-to-day basis. It's really in governance, in visibility and compliance, and whilst they're not the sexiest terms we can use, they're crucial. As the landscape increases in complexity, we have to get that right. With regards to compliance and governance, it's all about setting policies right, automating them where possible, but making sure that you know that you are able to enforce your internal standards and any legislation or industry standards which need to be implemented as well. With regards to visibility, we need visibility across all of this landscape, especially with regards to service performance, with regards to financial visibility as well, so you can see how much you're spending and where you're spending it, so you can tune and appropriately use the resources that you have available to you. And finally, on top of that, we also have to recognise that we can increase speed by orchestrating properly. You can standardise things better, you can deliver things faster, and essentially with many customers you can get to market quicker. If you have that control, you set your standards up front through governance, through compliance and visibility, you can see what's happening and you can make the right business decisions based on that data. Well, orchestration is in itself really complex, and it's very hard to tackle, very difficult to get the outcomes that are required. And Fujitsu's approach in that is to take a holistic view. Everything from technology all the way up to service and business value is the thing that I'm focusing on. Other vendors are approaching parts or components of that layer, maybe providing a technical solution or a managed service in certain areas. But to really tackle that properly, we need to have a full answer so that we can provide the right business value. But it's not about doing that in isolation. It's about doing that with our customers to understand their business, their priorities, their appetite for risk, so we can co-create and create a solution which really works for them. So let me go back to my musical reference earlier. To be in charge of an orchestra, you need to first be a great conductor. And you can't be a conductor without being a musician first. Fujitsu's a fantastic musician. We know how to play each part of that orchestra excellently, and therefore we can bring out the best of each part. So our track record in this area really spans our history back to the 60s, where we did the first undersea cabling connecting our world together, all the way through to applications and cloud and infrastructure and end user compute. We've done the full gamut, and we also deliver cloud and digital services on top of that as well. So we can really bring out the best in each part, and we can provide that aggregation layer across the top of the services, which we've got an excellent record in as well. Let me bring that to life maybe with some examples as well. So at the moment we're engaged with a large European government department where we're helping them to set up their own cloud delivery model. So we've gone all the way back to understanding their business, their priorities, to help them set up and be fit for the future. And we're helping them do that in a kind of co-creation model. So we're bringing the best out of both organisations. Another example, and just to recognise that this doesn't have to be huge, we can do small component parts to bring business value quickly. For a large global manufacturing organisation, we're helping them to bring financial control back to their cloud usage, giving them visibility across their subscriptions across many different clouds, so they can make better decisions and really put the accountability of the financial spend back into the departmental owners and back to the people that can really change the way they take advantage of the systems that they're using. So my first bit of advice would really be to be crystal clear on the business and strategic goals that you're trying to achieve. If you get that set, then the orchestration services can really weave in and help you to provide that business value. You can track the initiatives that we might come up with to deliver the outcome that you're strategically trying to achieve, whether that's to be the first to market, to be the most agile, to be the leader in a certain area. Once we've got that set, everything can flow from there. Secondly, don't focus on technology, or don't just focus on technology. It's very easy to do, but the value really is in the service and that business layer. How your business consumes those services, gets the most out of it, and how you can enrich and enhance your organisation's way of working. That's the real drive you want to be focusing on. Finally, I'd urge everyone really to seek advice. Not everybody needs to be an expert in this area, so seek out experts who have got a track record and are proven in applying value on top of the way organisations are achieving their goals through orchestration. Orchestration really is an organisation's unique fingerprint across that hybrid IT landscape, and it's important to get it right and to continually involve it with the advice and guidance that you can get.